Welcome to this beautiful episode. We talk about marriage, we talk about relationships, love, dating. One thing that is for sure is we are looking at a scenario where we can all understand how to get into or how to love better, how to last in marriage, okay? And not just because we kugumaring but we are deciding to say this is something that is beautiful, this is something that is God ordained, it is an institution that God has blessed. There is grace that is sufficient enough for marriages to flourish and to thrive. And I think I've said it so many times that I do not subscribe to the school of thought that something has to be endured, especially marriage. It is a choice that you make to get into one, and it is a choice that you make to actually make it a thriving marriage.
And unfortunately, that's why we are here to talk about scenarios that cause one to kuguma.
Yeah.
Why one has to continuously compromise just to stay in.
Yeah, to make it work.
I've seen and I have engaged and I've experienced people that are just there because of their children.
Yeah.
People that are just there because of what will people say. I mean, when it comes to ministers, it's even worse. The church will break.
I know.
You know?
I know.
And so there's so many reasons as to why people can stay together. Wrong reasons, as one may call it.
Yeah.
And when we address some of these issues, what we are saying is there is still hope that you can go past the place of kugumaring. You can go past the place of compromise, just compromising.
Staying for the sake of staying.
Yes, and eventually slide into the space of a healthy marriage or relationship. I don't think it's too far, and I don't think it's far-fetched, though I know in the comment section it will be different because everyone's marriage is different. And you cannot have mine, and even if I tried or I gave it to you,
you will
probably may not enjoy or manage it. And I don't just want to try yours too. I'm here at this time, in this place, every day, working hard
being
to make sure that mine works. That means I have not mastered it all.
Yeah.
And no one should ever lie to you that they have mastered it all. We do not get a qualification. There is no one.
There is no arrival.
And there's no place like arrival. What we do daily is to make it intentional and
to make
pray,
it a priority.
And so it works. And for your information, I think it's one of the only projects which God only manages, because he started it in the Garden of Eden. So it is his personal project. It is his personal thing, and it's what he uses to replenish, to grow this world, to speak to this world, to cause sanity into this world, to bring every good and healthy thing into this world. As in, whatever that is good that God would want to do, he will try it through a marriage, not through a ministry.
That's true.
Not through the anointed man of God. No.
It's through our home, a family.
A family.
Yeah. And that shows you that the beginning of everything is love.
Yeah.
The beginning, the foundation of everything is love. But, and then one thing, when you talked about that, it reminded me that you cannot intentionally work at a marriage without God. Before we even go into what we are going to talk about today, because God protects marriage. If you really go back to him and show him, are there going to be issues? Are there going to be temptations? Are there going to be, as in all these things that happen to other marriages are going to come in. But the moment you know that God is the glue and God is the source and God has the grace for this, I believe that so many things, and I believe that is the hope that we are going to be sharing at the end of this podcast. But what we feel on our hearts to share today is something that we actually wrote in Tears on My Pillow. While we were talking about it, I actually remember that we have a full chapter in Tears on My Pillow, and that is Yeah, I wanted to just that is chapter 6 in the that is in the content folder. That is chapter 6, and then page 47. It says harmless friend, the harmless friend, and it was talking about the emotional connections that people have outside of their marriages, and most of the times they know they are actually cheating. They know it's wrong that they are doing, and it's an epidemic that is actually hitting so many homes right now.
I was looking at the text messages from one of the recent podcasts. Was it on TikTok?
On TikTok.
Where people were proudly saying the reason as to why marriages are thriving is because of us. Us to mean the intro.
I know the side
cheek,
hens.
the side hen, the side and I was like, you people.
Actually, it was from what we talked about, that some women in this age and era some of them are dating married men, and then they are not allowing the married men to stay over in their apartments. They're saying, I don't want you snoring from here. Go back home. Go back to your wife. So you realize that there is a lot that is happening.
A lot is happening.
There is a lot that is simmering underneath because of the so-called harmless friends. The harmless friends. And I will tell you that both parties, a husband, a wife, will always know when there is a harmless friend coming into a marriage or coming into the picture. But the thing is, there is a lot that happens that we need to be able to unearth, to be able to... We have talked to couples that are going through this. We have seen couples that are going through this. It is not a good sin. It is not, because there is always hurt. There is always pain. There is always tears, and there is always regret, especially on the person that is not on the receiving end, but the one that had kept themselves faithful and is actually moving on and going on.
In every marriage, there's always that friend that's available, that is just a phone call away, that will drop anything for you, run to the hospital, and be there with you in the hospital.
Yeah.
Even pay the bill. Sometimes. Even pay the bill. That friend that you call and he will be at your kids' school to represent you, even pick up the kids for you.
Yeah.
There's always that friend.
They seem so helpful.
There's always that friend that shows up when you need them. And over time, you buy into the trust thing. You get to a place where you feel like, I think I need them because I think their intentions are right. Or I think they're in my life for the right reasons. And sometimes that's where it goes completely wrong.
Yeah.
At a point where
the trust has been
is
built,
built,
yeah,
is where everything goes
haywire.
wrong. Because, you know, the thing about you having a second eye, a third eye, and asking a few questions and seeking clarity and avoiding or guarding, as it may be, that points of privacy, confidentiality, certain things cannot be discussed, even if it's our best friend, he can't know, or he can't just walk into our bedroom, or we need time together, just the two of us, and etc. and etc. helps you. That bit of
Being conscious,
yes,
being alert,
and
being
like,
present.
Yeah, I know that so and so is helpful, but I think
there are boundaries.
I wouldn't want them to cross certain lines. I wouldn't want them in very close proximity, and I wouldn't want them to know everything that's happening in our home. There's some discussions that they shouldn't know. There are some fights that they shouldn't know about, because this is what happens when people open their doors. Their best friend is the person that they run to when they have an argument. So this person knows almost everything about you. It's just like all your dirty linen, that person knows.
Which I think, as a mature person, I think people have to be, I don't know whether it is my upbringing, yeah, because I feel like so many people have standards that are too low, way too low in their personal lives. Because why would you, even if you have a friend, they are your friends. They have their own life. They have other friends. And like they have their own life going. Why would you trust someone? I know some people are weaker than others, and maybe, some of us were taught to be strong and to retain what is supposed to be retained and to keep at arm's length and to be able to retain some information. Because I don't see how I would have a best friend or even a friend, which I don't even have, that you would go to and talk to. But I understand you because there are so many people. That has been the source of the trouble. You trust someone, you tell them everything, and all of a sudden, everything comes back biting. The person that you're telling your problems is the person that is actually wishing to be in your marriage.
It ranges from upbringing to personalities.
I think so.
Because there are those personalities. Okay, I'll begin with upbringing. Some of us have been raised in homes where on any day, minimum, you have about 12, 15 people hanging around.
Yeah. So you've been told to open up.
So you've been brought up in that kind of environment and you're comfortable with people around you. Such people, even when they get married, their homes are open to everyone. Now, guess what? Such a person meets the other person who has a personality
that holds fort, that keeps to themselves.
Exactly. There's already a
so
problem.
So you're two different people in that
or
marriage.
May find a person who almost has double personality, same.
Or so, too open, or more open.
That's what I'm saying. And then their home is now like a chidandali. It's like anyone can walk in and walk out without anyone knowing.
That is so wrong.
And in that kind of environment, it's very, very hard. It's practically, I would say, impossible to have secrets. It's almost impossible.
Like you're like a bathroom. Someone just walks in and out, like everyone who wishes to walk in. I think it is so wrong. And I think the reason as to why...
They're the kind where even the neighbors
will come in and
can tell you more about what's happening in
their home.
In your home.
That is so
than
wrong.
You know.
That is so
most
wrong.
Especially if you're the kind of man who is always away. You know, some of us that do business as well, we travel long for about a week or something. You come back home and your neighbor knows more about your home than you do.
That is so wrong.
And some things you're just learning, and some things an emergency, they're like an emergency, something like that, and you're like, for how long has this been happening?
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, for years.
They have a full story.
So like they know everything that you actually don't even know.
I think that is so wrong.
So it's from the point of upbringing.
Personality traits.
And that can be a nightmare.
A mess. Like it is a mess. And it's on both sides, because I have seen people that complain, and the woman complains. She's the one that holds back. She's the one that was brought up like that. And the man is the one that is holding the door open and is saying, enter, come in, walk around as you want, zoom everything, get to know about everything. And most of the times it's the woman who is thinking, okay, now they're on tenterhooks. They're like, now what's going to happen? What's going to happen? In the name of friends, I think we've had so many people that we have counseled or have come in for therapy. And the man will clearly tell you, oh, but she's my friend. Oh, that she's my friend. I think you remember that particular, we'll not mention the names, the one that was, had friends. They would go shopping. They would go doing all these things. Their friend was always in his car and stuff like that. And the woman is saying, I know this is a red flag. I know this is not right. But even if I tell him, he does not actually agree. And that is a trait. It's bringing me back to, that is a trait that breaks marriages. That is a trait that actually does not contribute to the longevity of a marriage. Because like it or not, a person will get to a time and just get tired. Because you're supposed to be the watchman for this marriage. You're supposed to wish it better. You're supposed to be, if you are the watchman, that means even if you see danger, even if you see any form of compromise, any form of inlet of a stranger, of an outsider, of a third wheel, or of a side hen or a side dude or whatever it is, it means that you must be able to stand strong, pray for your marriage. You must be able to stand strong and draw the boundaries. And I think we'll get to that part. You must be able to be the one that actually stands still and watches over the marriage.
A marriage is like a government. where there's a head of state, there's a vice president, there's a cabinet, and there are MPs, and you understand. And in that setting, one of the things that is evident is we build boundaries. You cannot just walk from Uganda into Rwanda without
Just like
documentation.
that. That's
Just
true.
like that.
That's true.
Even if you are the closest friend to the president of Rwanda, he would want to respect the structures.
And the
Same thing
policies.
with Kenya, with all our neighbors, that there are policies and there are structures that we've put in place and that we follow. So for you to be able to get admission into a country and have peace and enjoy the freedom in our country, please follow the process. Go online, fill in that form, apply. If you need to get a visa, get a visa, and etc. Now, similarly, it's the same thing in a home. The moment you do not build a bit of fences and put a bit of
Policies
boundaries,
and
then your
boundaries.
home becomes a bathroom.
Yeah.
Your home will be disrespected.
Yeah.
Your home will be hurt.
Yeah.
So it's only fair that when someone knocks at the door, there's someone that holds the gate, or there's someone who can ask very simple questions. For example, whom would you want to see? You understand?
Yeah.
Is he expecting you? I don't think it is wrong. Don't just open the gate to anyone.
To anyone.
You understand? So I look at home and I look at family mostly now when it comes to issues that I know happen almost in every home. For example, we fight. When we get into our bedrooms or when we get into our closets, all the bitiwa, we leave them out there. We go naked. And by going naked, I mean, I don't want someone to walk in on me when I'm naked. And by that I mean I don't want everyone to be
To know.
to be exposed to my naked me, to know my failures, to know my weaknesses that I can only allow my wife. My wife can know. Why? Because
And she's supposed to be the protector.
Because she is earned that place till death do us part, as in mokazi wange, mine. So she's me, I'm her. So I will let that be, but I wouldn't want her friends to know.
Yeah.
And the friends of her friends to know. And Oba, if she has friends who are men. Okay?
And that's where the emotional
Yes.
affairs start,
Yes.
because we're talking
Yes.
about
Yes.
emotional
So,
affairs, not
wh-
even that
if-
cheating.
If my wife can go and have a discussion of,
What is happening?
say, because these are the things, these are some of the things that we have seen, that we have experienced, that we've gone through. Some of you women have gone out there and you're discussing this with one of your best male friends, and you're saying your man is a 1 minute man, 1 minute man, 1 minute sex minute.
What are they called?
1 minute.
You're stuck with your words.
But you get the gravity.
Yeah.
Now, totally, he is lost.
As you've created a loophole.
Yes.
You've already created a loophole.
Yes.
So you're not a protector of the marriage, because when you talked about that no one should know, my wife has earned that space. Now, I want to talk to the woman. Yeah? If you have earned that space, then know it, that you are his wife. Nti oli muchala, where you know how you owned it and you were like, she has earned that space. Because there is thinking that someone has earned that space. Kumbe, they're blank head. Yeah, because let's face it. So if you are the protector of that marriage, know your place, that by the way, we have earned this place, we have fortified our marriage, and these are the principles that we are going to walk by. And some of them, no one needs to remind them to you. You're an adult. You really, really understand. And when you talked about the washing of the dirty linen and, going and telling an opposite sex person or a friend, telling them about the dirty linen, these days it's not even about the dirty linen. There are some women who will tell you, or some men who will tell you, I know for sure that there is nothing wrong, she said, anywhere, but just the too much proximity, number one, And then just the normal sharing of other things. There is nothing even like dirty linen. But remember, these days, there is such a thing called WhatsApp. There is such a thing called all those there is so many outlets, or there is so many platforms that have been created that actually are enhancing the emotional affairs. So now it just begins by knowing that I am going to downplay the fact that, yes, he is my friend or she is my friend, but I'm going to downplay their importance in my life. Everyone will see it as different, as if it is friendship. But behind the doors, there are some conversations that are happening that are not actually right.
Yeah.
So the emotional affairs do not begin in bed, or affairs do not begin in bed. Some of them might not even be sexual, but they are emotional and they are dangerous and they are hurting the marriage.
Yes, the emotional connectivity, I think I started from the deep end, but that's where it ends.
Of course.
Because it is from having one conversation
To another.
that I would consider private to another, until you get to a place where you want to justify everything that you have said. And by that, I mean to emphasize and even say more than you should be saying.
Yes.
To the extent, some of you will be in your bedrooms and you'll be taking some pictures. Okay? So a place like a bedroom is sacred.
Yeah, I was going to say
to
the
be
same.
protected. It's one
It's
place
your sanctuary.
that on any given day you would want to protect. That even when your kids come, you wouldn't want them to stay long. You would want them to value it and feel like that's mom and dad's
place.
bedroom.
Yeah, man.
And but which tiwa, you know, that's how value is built anyway. That's how that what happens in there.
Denying
imagination
access.
of what exactly goes in there. Because even when they grow, they would want something like that for themselves.
Exactly.
Where they value the place called
Valuable, yeah.
their bedroom. How does that begin? It begins when they're still young,
Yeah.
watching daddy and
Seeing.
mommy
Yeah.
having a bit of protection, okay, about their place called the bedroom. Now, some of you will even go ahead and take some pictures and send them.
Like you have
And then,
no
yes,
sacredness.
and then I emphasized and said it is from lighter conversations to deep
Yeah.
connections
Yeah.
and conversations. Because by the time
And to deeper actions.
you are with your so-called friend and can have a conversation about your man,
Yeah.
that
Or about your
that
wife.
belittles him to the extent of being a 1 minute man. It simply means you are asking for something
Yes.
from your friend without
saying it. Yeah.
and your friend
That is straight
has
on.
been very strategic
To listen to you.
Exactly.
To provide you the time. Kumbe.
And in most cases, he will even tell you, you know, there's this thing that can help him to stay long. Have you ever advised him? They sell this, there's macaroot, there's what.
Kumbe. He is also in tune.
And then to make it worse, some of you women are very insensitive. You go back to your lovely husband and say, you know, I was talking to Joshua, and he said, why can't you use macaroot?
Checho.
Why can't you use... So like... So what? How did the
How
conversation
dense
begin?
that can that be?
No,
How can
I
that
was just
get?
having a conversation with him, and you know,
As in Mwata
it was
Ndikidewa.
about 1 minute men or men that, and then he advised that
Trouble.
any man who is going through that can use this.
Trouble. But
You are breaking your home.
I know, with
in
your
the-
own
Yes,
foolishness.
in the name of is our friend, is our trusted friend, we can talk to him. Some of them, by the way, always have a best man wamwe. I was your best man, and
That's
you know
true.
it. But your best man also,
Is in the flesh.
no, is a human being who probably has his own wife and his own issues in his home. Let him attend to his own home and his own issues. So at least a bit of a boundary. I said in a home, what makes a home special is boundaries,
Yeah.
period. That at least build your fences high
Stop
enough.
here.
Yes. And then only you have the keys to which room can be accessed.
Yes.
Some of them will just greet you in the compound and go. Others can be allowed to sit in the living room.
And that's it.
And that's it. Others can go to the kitchen, to the kids'
But the bedroom
bedrooms.
is sacred.
But one place
That should
they
be an agreement.
Never, ever, no one should ever access is your bedroom.
Just like
no mukyala.
your personal life and your personal information and everything else is sacred.
It's
You can tell them about where you applied for a job. You can tell them about which job you didn't get and stuff like that. But still, I think we will talk about the signs that the drift is actually happening. Yeah. Because again, so many people, I have seen so many women who tell me that my husband never sees danger when danger is coming. Like, he entertains every Rose and every Winnie and every what. I'm just giving examples. But he entertains even when the woman will know that there is actually danger.
There's a problem.
Winnie is not just being a friend. That Rose
There's
is not
more.
just being a
There's
friend.
more.
There is more. Even when she's randomly laughing and randomly trying to help, yeah? But it is a calculated move. She will know. And some husbands, by the way, will know that, by the way, so-and-so is not just a random friend. And sometimes it's just the feeling and intuition that sparks off, and we never respect it. Yeah? And even when you communicate or you tell someone feels like, I don't think that's it. If I see there is anything happening, because even the intruders, they don't intrude like wholesale, that they're just coming to destroy. They also intrude with wisdom. Yeah. So if you, the one that is supposed to guard from the intruders, is not alert to know the tricks of intrusion, it's very possible you will read it as friendship, as someone who cares, as someone who, like, he's okay, as someone who is a Christian, as someone who serves God, as someone, those innocent things that people put at the forefront, and all of a sudden, before you know it, you've brought them into close proximity, and then that is where the biting, the hurting will actually happen.
The moment you open up, or the moment you are that vulnerable, depending on the kind of friend that you have, others will use it to blackmail you.
Yep.
Because I know of marriages that have been blackmailed. And have had to pay a very steep price for that. So the reason that's why we will say build these boundaries and hold the keys, okay, is at least you do not have the regret of being so stupid to have let certain things slip through. Yeah. Now, there are friends on the flip side. There are friends who will be very genuine. But the friends that will be genuine, by the way, I want you to understand, they are very respectful. Very respectful in the sense that they will not just show up uninvited. They will not just call in odd hours. They will not want to text in odd hours and text in privacy, or they will not. In most cases, if they are to talk about an issue, they would want when the two of you are around, or when you are together. If there is anything that they want to discuss, they would want to bring it into the light when you're together.
And you realize they will even limit the proximity.
And when they suspect something funny, they're the first ones to walk away or to even rebuke you. Now, those are friends that are very, very few.
Very rare.
Probably you'll find 1 or 2 out of 100. In most cases, such, because they have values and they hold onto those values, in most cases, they may not stay long. Once they discover
that there's something fishy,
there's something funny, they will walk away. Be careful with this kind of friend who's poking their nose everywhere. They want to know. They can even remind you the immunization for your own child and you don't remember it. It seems like a good thing, but to a certain extent, they have taken so much interest in your affairs that you only stupid not to think twice.
Yeah.
That she can't even remember my
birthday.
Okay, kalaba birthday kaleko.
But
I'm talking about things like immunization of your children. They are mine. If I can't remember, at least my husband should. If my husband can't,
Tushireke.
So
So this is not yours.
you know
Silikako.
when the trail is so evident
Yeah.
that there are certain things that you have
Motives.
seen, you understand, that are so like there is a kakoro at home, and all of a sudden this so-called friend knows about the details of
Everything.
that quarrel or that argument or that conversation, and they even know it better than you, and you're like, well,
Or they know your wife better than you, or know your husband better than you.
much as you are close with Peter, but I feel like Peter knows a lot.
Too much.
And he knows too much. We just had an argument about food.
That is 5 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago.
How can Peter know about the argument about food? It's below the belt.
Yeah. And I think...
And these fights are not going to end tomorrow. These fights are going on.
Forever. Yeah.
So does Peter...
Plan on being in our lives
Peter,
forever.
does Peter have other things.
Important things to do.
And in this case, it can be the Joan. The Joan gets to know everything. You understand? Everything. Even when there's like a slight disagreement, jodukira. Oba, you understand? Jogenda jenkunona.
Ate Joan has, the same.
So that
you're creating
the third wheel,
a loophole.
at least should be a place for God. Run to God. Run to God.
Seek to reconcile. Talk about it.
Or
work it out.
Or seek professional help. If you think it's too much for you to handle, seek professional help. But this thing of a particular person in your life, it's been 5, 7, 8, 10 years, and this person is there.
And you know the most dangerous ones? The most dangerous ones are not even the ones that think about the birthdays. They are not the ones that... They are not the ones, because some of them will avoid anything that causes attention, and they will not do it. But they will be the silent people in the background, in the background, and definitely they would want to know that to show that they know you more. They would want to jump in at every chance, say something, or even jokingly call you some names and stuff. As in, it seems like there is nothing important that can spark off curiosity, but they are silently there in the background, and she's just silent, but she's interested, but he's doing nothing.
Yeah.
So she's waiting for an opportune moment. And even on the other side, on the woman's side, there can be someone who is just there simmering in the bottom, but there is nothing like that can cause attention, that can cause someone to question.
And those are more dangerous.
And those are more dangerous. And which, if it's not actually addressed, it's a problem. But I wanted us to talk about the signs that you are drifting, because the person that is supposed to be able to protect the marriage should know that, by the way, if I'm the kind that is discussing about all my frustrations and I am downplaying this friendship, I know this friendship is solid, but I'm busy downplaying it to my husband or to my spouse, then that means I'm protecting a lion or a tiger that will end up eating me, that will end up sabotaging the marriage, but I am not being truthful to myself.
Absolutely. That's one of them.
Yeah.
The other is an emotional bond.
Yes.
Emotional bond, where you feel you're so free with the other person more than even your own husband.
Yeah.
You feel you can easily call them, text them, run to them, walk to them, tell
Be
them
free
anything.
with them,
And you're so free with them. That's another sign that you're drifting.
Yeah.
Slowly,
that you must be able to catch
slowly
in the
you're
middle.
going because everything you are doing, or every attention and everything you're doing with your friend is supposed to be to your husband.
Exactly.
So you're
that is
drifting.
emotional cheating.
Yes.
Cheating.
Yes, exactly.
And then when you start comparing, when people start comparing, for example, the reasoning, the capacity to understand, they might seem like small things, but you are comparing a person that you are committed to, you are married to, knows you better than anyone, but because there is someone outside that does not even know your problems. That is why I think when we talked about that thing about the side chicks and stuff like that who don't want the married men to stay over, some of the wives were like, for me, I have, someone said, I have ever done it. As in, when I knew that he had a side chick, I was like, okay, so let the side chick wash for you, iron for you. As in, let them see all your nakedness and see whether they will still love you. Because I have been in this marriage for 12, 15 years, and I have done these things repeatedly. I have still respected you and married you. So, kamukwazi keko, you know? So that's the So now, when you start comparing, you get to know that there is actually, I need you to be able to catch yourself in the moment and be able to ask yourself and tell yourself, this is not the right thing. It might feel safe. It might feel good for a moment, but where it is headed, it is not. And some of you, if you're hearing this for the first time, you should be able to start flashing a torch in your actions, especially when it comes to the so-called close friends, the people that you've been trusting, whether it is a workmate, whether it is a churchmate, whether it is those networking events that people go to and clubs that people go to, and you feel like, you know what, I have to go to this Rotary, even if I really don't like what they talk about, but I want to go because of Anna. I want to go because of John. And so you are creating, you are cushioning yourself, but you don't know where this cushioning is actually heading.
Yeah. Even opinion on dressing.
Yeah.
You no longer dress for your husband, but you, in
For an
your heart of
outsider.
hearts, you know what Peter likes.
You want to impress.
So you dress up for Peter when you're getting out of the house.
Yeah.
Much as your husband has complained about a skimpy dressing and etc. And
You're
etc.,
like,
you
if
keep
that
doing
is
it,
what Peter wants,
I will do
I'm
it.
going to do
So
it.
you're drifting.
And the same
You're
with the
drifting.
husband.
Exactly.
The perfume that he puts on, the clothes that they put on, the cologne. You will realize that there's a place in their life where they were themselves and they were just normal going on. And all of a sudden, and there will always be signs, because there is so and so a certain Anna that has popped up in the picture, and all of a sudden the perfumes change, the cologne change, the amount of time he cuts his hair changes. Like, he just wants to keep himself composed so that Anna can keep in the same picture, complimenting and, appreciating and stuff like that. And you get to know after some time, for those that are wise, you're like, okay, who am I exactly doing this for?
So before you,
You
get out
catch
of
yourself in the
before you get out
moment.
of your house, think, because I know that it happens in you. It's subconscious.
Yeah.
Because
But you will know it. You're the one that is doing it.
You've been feeding your conscience with it for a very long time.
Yeah.
That this is a kind of dress code that
so and
Joe,
so
either
appreciates.
Joan or Peter appreciates.
Yeah.
So even when your husband does not compliment you, or even when he says, I think that's too short.
They're like, let
you
me
cover,
do it.
You cover it up with okadiye omulembe togutegeera.
Yeah.
You understand?
But this
And
is
all of
how
a-
I
and
feel
all of a sudden
comfortable.
he's like, but you've never liked these colors.
Yeah.
How come this time you so much into this
Even
colors?
perfume, all of a sudden you've changed and you like perfume so much.
You're like, Auntie Kakat, people evolve. I know that people evolve, but okay.
What is it?
So this is in out. You yourself, you have to think about this. Am I throwing away my home, my husband, my wife? Am I throwing away my marriage?
Yeah.
Just because of someone
that I want to impress.
that I would want to impress, because it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time that it will come out, and by the time it does, the way to the comeback becomes complicated, very hard. Remember that it's not you.
Yeah.
You were just doing this because of so and
The
so.
influence.
So it's the influence. Someone somewhere is benefiting from another man's sweat.
Yep.
Yeah, someone has to pay for clothes that you don't really need, simply because you're dressing up for someone.
For some to impress.
Yes, all of a sudden you like shopping,
And you didn't like these
and
things.
it was not like you before. Well, you're just trying to impress. And
People grow, but normal growth looks different. And when someone has been hyped up because of a particular agenda, you will also know.
Yeah.
You will also know. So
That it's influence.
But the person, I think in this podcast, we are more concerned about the person that is doing it, because the person that is the partner of the person that is doing it, I think we will have to address them as well. Because when you see certain intuition and certain things, and you say, let me see waje chinagwera, it's possible that you're also petting a leopard that is going to. That means you need to be able to bring back the freshness, the intimacy, the closeness. You have to up your game instead of totally abandoning and saying, you know what, let them do their thing, I do my thing. Because this is an effort from both sides. It cannot be you the one that is stepping out, the one that is feeling this emotional bond, and what chikukakatako, it is your responsibility to protect your marriage. But the other partner, what I'm saying is, do not just cast everything away and say, if you've decided to be like that, then let me leave you alone so that you can do your own things.
Sometimes, again, Hilda, in that moment, when there is a superstar out there,
Tebamugambako.
when there is a beauty out there, when there is
new butterflies,
trust me, you become an inconvenience, you become a burden. Nothing is from you is reasonable. Nothing from you
makes
you're
any
grudging,
sense.
you are annoying, you are everything that is negative. So sometimes you're not just sometimes, but you are not needed, and your opinion is not needed.
Yeah.
So,
I agree
so
in
to
some
have
cases.
your peace, Bembo Musaja, to have my peace, I would rather keep quiet.
You mind your business.
Because then probably I am helping her to even build something big against me. So if you all of a sudden...
Because of the nagging.
Let me just give an example. All of a sudden, you've developed this urge to be in particular clubs.
Yeah, I've seen women who have gone through that.
You're in particular clubs.
Skimpy dresses,
And
drinking things you've never drunk,
exactly,
with friends you were not
late
close
hours,
to.
You understand? This is not been like you. We've been married for 10, 15 years, and all of a sudden, it's just the last 1 or 2 years where you've totally flipped, drifted to something. You're something different.
Yeah.
I would want my peace to come back home and sleep, because if I try, I know I'm getting into a fight that I know and I know
you will never win.
I'll never win. Sometimes my peace, at least to sleep.
I think that scenario you've explained is very true.
Because
when someone is extreme,
at that point,
you're nagging.
Yes,
the last thing they want to hear
they
from.
would want to hear from.
Oh, I have seen people that have gone through that, and they are the spouses whose partner is actually on the move.
Yeah.
And it's not any easier on any gender. Whether it's the man that is on the move and the woman that is on the stay, you totally become irrelevant. And whether it's the man and the man you're the one, like, you become totally irrelevant. So I understand that part, but I think there are those that are also just that there is a lot of sanity. There is a lot of sanity in the marriage, and you're noticing a few things, a few trends. For example, there is a man who totally admitted, and was like, I know who my wife is, but I have seen a few things, dots here and there, that I'm trying to connect that are not working out. And the man admitted to me and was like, clearly, I had emotionally abandoned her. And so, instead of blaming her, because I saw that she was creating a proximity that I did not like, I actually pulled her and took her back to the person who I was. Because I used to give her more time. But because of so many changes, I had not even explained. Everything had just drifted just like that. And so when the man reclaimed his part in the woman's life, like the other thing faded without even them noticing.
I agree with you.
It took a sensible person
and usually,
to understand.
In such scenarios, Hilda, there is no emotional connectivity.
In the other end.
Yes, involved.
Yes.
Where there is emotional connectivity and cheating, it's a different one. Because sometimes people have been stressed, drained at their workplaces or in their businesses, and they have not never involved or have not involved their wives before, and they don't even know how to do it.
Yeah.
So when there is a drifting because of, say, money stresses,
Time.
business stresses,
Yeah.
and the woman is drifting away to find
Solace.
it's easier for you, for a man, to come to your senses if you talk to someone, or if someone else helps you see it.
Yes.
Okay, and you redeem your relationship and marriage. Where a man
It's
or a
full
woman
blown.
is seeing another person,
Oh.
they say, empewo bw'eba efuwako kategeera.
Kategeera. They cannot understand.
And that's why they say love is as strong as death. Where there is anything that taps into people's emotions,
It's powerful.
it's totally different.
It's a huge current.
It's almost impossible to speak sense into them. Anyone who tries becomes a burden.
They're hated,
You're blocked. You understand?
discarded.
Buli kimu. So sometimes,
Because for them, they are enjoying whatever they are in.
and you are the one becoming a block.
It's not a
You're
mistake
blocking
at this
them.
point. It's not nothing.
Everything.
It is something that they really, really, really want. Can we be able to talk about some of those things that, not even, but encourage or bring about this kind of, that kind of attachment, that kind of, that would make someone, just like you say, getting out to seek for solace. There are some issues that happen in marriages.
The triggers.
That trigger someone to be able to even give it a second thought, to even give a friendship that they would never have given the time, to give it time. Yeah, because I believe if we talk about those, then people can be able to notice what is happening in their marriages so that they can be able to redeem or even work on it. For those that can still work on it.
Anyway, yeah, one of them is unresolved issues in the past that keep piling with no answer, solution, or intentionality
To even resolve them.
Exactly. Someone gets...
That's painful.
Yes, someone gets tired. And when they get tired, they start now to start looking out for themselves. They try to seek for peace elsewhere. Friendship elsewhere.
They think they'll find better.
Elsewhere. They sometimes feel like probably I'm better off
without this person.
So it is intentional for them to do what they are doing because you have not been available
to resolve anything, to address anything.
And they don't feel like they would want to keep compromising. So they are now exiting a marriage, a relationship without knowing. Because whatever that they are creating is disaster for the marriage.
That's true.
Okay? But they feel like you started it. Okay?
They deserve the peace.
You cheated the first time, I forgave
nothing.
You. Cheated the second time.
Not resolved.
Third time.
Not changed.
And when I tried to talk to you about the fourth time, you slapped me.
You flipped, yeah. Like you know what? Let me just mind my own business. Yeah. And then that means they're not willing to step out of the marriage, but they are willing to do the mess while they are still in the marriage.
Because what happens is, the reason that's why they're not stepping out of the marriage is what has triggered this behavior is lack of emotional availability and willingness to take leadership.
To address issues, yeah.
But we still have responsibilities of children.
Yeah.
But I don't want to feel like I am Yochi Simula here.
Yeah. So let me find my way.
So let me find my way.
I also have blood
so that I can be
and
happy.
feelings
you
and
come
emotions.
back at midnight sometimes, Toda, and I can't talk to you. And
so I'll begin coming back at 11.
I can't ask and I can't talk about it. The last time I tried to ask, you put me in my place.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So
give me your peace of mind.
So Nange,
let me do my own things.
Let me go and hang out with my friends. I'll come back at midnight.
That is so wrong. I think the Waganda says enkanankana tezaka, because that is not a marriage that can actually work out.
Yes, whatever that you set out to do is disaster for the marriage.
Yep, that's true.
It only has potential to completely break it.
That's very true. Let's talk about
that. But the question is, for how long would you have to tolerate that kind of So thing is,
You can't.
the willingness here to handle an issue of that magnitude is sobriety and intentionality and compromise from both, showing a need for each other
To make it
and
complete
for
about time.
yes, and for the love of their marriage. Okay, that we have 5-6 issues that are unresolved. Your side.
Can we see a
And
counselor, a
yes,
therapist?
Yes. So you must show willingness.
Can we talk about
to address
one
some
by
of
one?
these issues? If
Yeah.
you can be able to address these issues, I am here. I would want this marriage to work. I would want to be present in raising up our children and taking care of our family, taking care of our home. But unless you as a man or you as a woman are willing to work with me and walk with me in this journey, nindachita.
Willingness is very important. I think we've talked about it so much in our marriage sessions. When someone comes, we literally ask them. One of the questions we usually ask them is, "Do you love her? Do
Yeah.
you love him?" We want to first establish, do you love? And most of the cases, the answers will be no. Even when they are going to separate, I mean, the answers will be yes. I love him, but there is always a but because of A, B, C, D, and Z. I am just tired of this marriage and I want to get out of it. And sometimes the other person is unbothered. They love, but they want to be loved where they are with all their problems, and they're not willing. So the willingness to even want to see eye to eye and to work on the same problems is very crucial. And I realize we don't have that much time. We have to be able to revisit this very topic, because I wanted us to talk about the emotional abandonment or not meeting the emotional needs of someone, especially time, the quality time, all the love languages. We will find time to talk about the love languages, because when someone feels like I am quality time, but time is not given to me, I am touch, but I don't feel like this is given to me, most of the times they will want to move out to try and look for something else, look for the solace that we talked about to be able to survive. So here we are saying that we cannot exhaustively handle this in just one episode. We will have to find another episode and just fix everything that we have missed in this episode in the next episode. But until then, send your questions, share with us. What are you going through? Is this something that you have gone through? Have you seen someone that has gone through this? Or are you currently seeing a couple that is about to get into a disaster or to about bump into issues, and you have nothing to do about it because you are told, keep quiet, you can never intrude or bring your nose into people's issues? Yeah, what do you do if you really want to get out of this scenario, and if you want your marriage to actually not just survive or sink, but thrive? Bless you, bless you.